Well, hey everybody. This is Andrew from Design Point, here today with Chris Laurita for a really special event for you guys as part of our Design Point network. We're going to do a power user interview, and you might start to see these come up. This is the first of its kind. We've been doing a program where we're really emphasizing on relationship with our customers. We're calling you. You probably have gotten calls. We want to set up just times to meet, get two engineers in a room, and just get to know each other, see if we can help each other anymore. It's called our Customer Success Management Program, so CSM visits. During one of them, we had a great chat with Chris. So Chris works for A+. He is a product developer, and he's had experience. If any of you have kids or have played lacrosse, he's had some really cool product development experience designing lacrosse helmets. While interviewing or talking to him, he just showed a lot of ability with working with SolidWorks, problem detect, like all these kind of different things. And Chris actually has a new user group in Central Jersey or South Jersey. Which one? Where would you call it, Chris?
There was already a Central Jersey, so I wrote in Monmouth County, New Jersey. So it's kind of like the top of the Jersey Shore.
Top of the Jersey Shore. For anybody part of New Jersey, you know where that is. I don't, but that's okay. So today we just wanted to do a quick interview, start to broadcast some of the successes and the the skills of our broad and diverse customer network. So Chris, thanks for your time today. I just I want to see what you had to work on. I already was so impressed with what I saw before, and I'm excited to see more. So I think you've prepared something that you want to share with us for a design that you were working on. Is that correct?
Sure. So I guess I can try and share my screen here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Let's see. Sorry. More actions.
It's actually
share. There we go. Okay, so can you see my screen, Andrew?
I can. Okay.
All
yes,
right.
I can.
So this is kind of a different one. So it's PPE related. So
yeah, that's definitely pertinent for the time period. Okay.
And this is an internal project that we're working on. It's not one of our customers. It's kind of like we're just trying to do our part here. So when COVID came around, I've got 6 3D printers in my room alone. So I started printing mask adjusters for, there's a bunch of different designs online that you can print them out and give them to your nurses and essential workers. So my mom's a nurse, so I started printing them out for her and sending them to her, and we really did not like them, honestly.
Okay.
So they're the rigid ones where you just hook them around the ears. So my company actually sells these magnetic fasteners for fidlock, they're called. So that's the buckle right here. Wow. So they attach magnetically. So when I whipped up with some of these, I sewed up some actually into some mask adjusters so that you could adjust the tension of it was the initial goal. Yeah. And then once I started using it in person, I actually really liked how it quickly was able to release and then reattach. So I could connect it to like my backpack or something, or wrap around my head. So I've had a lot of success with this. And then I had an intern that we wanted to have for the summer, and I just gave her the task to make a Kickstarter for this product. Wow. So she came up with all this branding and everything. And so we have these basic black ones in-house now, but we wanted to visualize the product for the Kickstarter to show our potential customers, say, hey, this is what the product could be if you guys back this product. So it's kind of like this fun project that we're doing. And so what my goal here was to kind of visualize the future product, what it could look like. So I utilized decals on the buckle and also on these little, like what printing will look like here. Sure. So this was a fun one. I have some renderings that I threw together for it that I can bring up.
That's very cool.
But
so just so your end goal, so you wanted an actual product that was going to be, so this is an assembly of components that are readily made, and then the Kickstarter would be just like the funding that you need to get started there, and then to maybe have a bigger impact with something like this.
Yeah, and it's good. The Kickstarter, the big point is kind of like advertising, getting the word out there. But yeah, also, like I said, the goal is to visualize the product, what it could look like potentially with some more money put into it.
Can I ask a couple of quick things about the SolidWorks design that you've got there?
Sure, go for it.
So how did you make the ribbon? So you have a cloth portion, so it looks like you're working with mixed materials. You've got probably some plastic components. You said there's not the front, actually, the ribbon in the back. So
sure.
This guy, yeah. How did you create that ribbon there for your assembly?
Yeah, this was an interesting one. Let me see if I can kind of pull up here. That's the puller. Basically, I made this plane. I put the buckle here first, then I made this plane, and then I sketched around it. And the one thing I've been doing with the sketching for it, so I've been doing these offsets, and then you can dimension for the offset. So you kind of draw the whole line. So this one's a big fit spline, and then you can do the offsets, and then you can put dimensions to the offsets. And that doesn't maybe not sound like it's helpful, but it's actually makes it a lot easier to align things and get these like wrapped up pieces right here, which you might not even see in the overall rendering, but
I see it.
It adds some detail. And then actually, this was a funny one because even after I drew this fully nice sketch here, it wouldn't extrude for some reason. So what I did was I did a thin extrude. Let's see. Great. So I did another sketch, copied it, and then I did this thin extrude. Let me see if I can edit this part. Yeah, so I copied over the sketch and just got this part right here. So I just took the middle line, but I needed those offsets in the initial sketch so that I could really dimension it correctly. And then so then I just did a long thin extrude from the mid plane.
Let me pause you right there. So I want to just highlight some of the ways that you problem solve. So here's the problem that you were dealing with at the very beginning. So you have the buckle, and then you have maybe the snap that would attach to the mask. But what you don't have is the cloth or the strap in between. So you used in context modeling, top-down modeling, where you brought those into this assembly. Then you drew a sketch on a plane inside the assembly, and you use that sketch to drive the creation of a new part, an in-context part. And you use the thin extrude, which is a super helpful thing. I've started to use that. By the way, it's also really helpful in the cut or the negative side of things as well. I really love cutting without even doing a full enclosed shape. Like if you just want to cut off a corner, you can just draw a single line and use that to cut. But yeah, for something like this, it's genius. Like this is what I'm talking about. This is what the power users, what you guys bring to the table, is when you get to an obstacle, what kind of methods do you use to fix this? And you were talking about the offset. And so you traced out with the fit spline, which by the way, if our customers aren't aware of that, fit spline, super helpful. If you have to use any sort of organic geometry, like a strap, something like that, the fit spline actually gets you a place where you can take known geometry and kind of fit a spline that fits as close to that geometry as possible. So I'm just super impressed by that alone, Chris, for what it took to do, the in-context modeling, working with an assembly, and then driving that out. And you have an external part now with that, just for the sake of the viability of this assembly. That is super, super cool.
Sure. Any other cool parts? This one has a dome on it, elliptical dome. It's beautiful. It's a really easy way to make a really realistic looking button really quickly. So you just click this elliptical part, and it like makes this totally smooth dome really quickly. So that's a 2-feature part that looks like perfect as a button.
And by the way, for that strap, did you just add an appearance in order to get the markings there for, to make it look like fabric?
I did. So I didn't. This one's just an out of the box appearance that I went from appearances, and there's only a few fabric ones to choose from.
Sure.
It's cloth and then dark gray cotton, and
Really?
then I changed
Yeah.
the color a little bit of it.
Yeah, I'm sure though, like for the design of that, I mean, to do a Kickstarter, that really pops off the screen. Is there anything with that magnetic portion? Did you have to do anything in terms of including an external part like a magnet into it, or was it something that you just took into account when you did your design?
So this is kind of like the dummy file that our company Fidlock they sent us that doesn't have like all the fancy parts inside, because that's
Okay.
like all their patented
Right.
stuff. So it's really just like a representation of it, the outside of it. So
Got it.
it looks really good though. I mean, I did like add glossy here and matte over there, and
Yep.
then that ends up like really popping in the renderings that I did.
That's awesome. Now, so you designed the strap. Was there anything else that you specifically had to design for this project?
No, I mean, I threw together this mask really quick, and so
Really quick, how'd you do the mask? Show me.
yeah, it's just a big boundary surface that I did a few sketches on. Let's see. It's the head form. Oh, yeah. So it's not the prettiest model. It's a little bit dirty in that there's all these parts are
They're-
multi-body parts.
Yes,
So
I get it. I
they're
can
a
see
bit
that.
tricky. So this is just a big surface loft from a few different sketches. It might have just been the two.
So how did you create those boundary edge line sketches? Were they obviously have a 3D nature to them? Were they projected curves?
Yes. So this one's a straight line.
Okay, yep. That one's easy
right
because
there.
that's your mirror plane. You can draw right on it, so you can have that flat surface. That's an excellent use. And then the other one, though, I'm guessing.
Let's see. So I did some other. I think I did some other cross sketches, but they didn't actually help too much. So this was basically a surface extrude. So I did the front view.
Okay.
And then yeah, I trimmed back the surface using a side view as well, or something along those lines. So this was the side extrude
Yep.
surface
Yep.
right here. So I extruded that surface,
Yep.
and then I cut it back with a front sketch. And then I swept the whole thing together. And then the one issue was I couldn't thicken it to make it a real part, which was my plan initially. But apparently you can still add textures and appearances to surfaces. So even though it's a surface, it kind of looks like a real mask. So.
And what version of Solidworks are you working with?
2020, I think, Service Pack 1.
Okay, so the thicken, just to highlight some new feature, it is tough. Sometimes it does not work, but you got what you needed out of it, especially since you could use the ropes and connect that way. 2020 also has a new feature where it will show you the different surfaces. If you were trying to thicken an entire model, it would show you this is just one surface that happens to be complex. So that tool is probably not going to help you out too much. Okay, so just for everybody watching, this is a really cool use. So he used a surface extrude and then trimmed it with a kind of perpendicular sketch. It's similar to your projected sketch. So it would be something where if you have two sketches that you want to kind of combine in a 3D way, that's something that you can use to use that boundary surface. And then he used mirror geometry right at that center place, so that what he did is that he just lofted or boundaried surface all the way from that 3D sketch to the 2D sketch. You get half the mask, and then you're going to be able to mirror it off to the other side. So super cool stuff. You can see how this is stuff that we cover in our SolidWorks training classes. This is how you could put it to use in a real world environment. I think that this is exactly what we're looking for. I think people really care about this kind of stuff right now. Especially with the COVID-19 crisis, you guys wanting to step in and do something, that's an even bigger bigger impact into this world. But already, Chris, I'm just super thankful for those two things. It seems like you have a real grip on how to work with shapes, lofting surfaces, maybe really make a really refined looking finished product.
Sure. Yeah, this is and then the fun part is that we're making a video for it. So I'm going to make some video content and render it with PhotoView 360. So we're going to make, this is going to be included in the Kickstarter video, stuff like this. So this is just an initial one that I made. I did a rendering last night on it, and it's a bit rough, so it's going to take a few chances to get it done. But this was the video as a result from last night. So
okay, I can really see. Yeah.
So it's coming around. We'll add some more views and stuff and tweak the renderings, but it's fun to be able to make this stuff from the 3D modeling that we have.
Well, sign me up. I want one. This is great. I've got friends in the medical department as well, and so I want to get them different things like this. So, Chris, this is so excellent. I think anybody that has an interest in product development, they should really reach out to you about your user group. Just being friends with the right people. Oh, look at that! You're starting to put that. That's fun. That's a sad one though. That one got left out in the rain. That one belonging in a hospital, Chris.
I know.
But yeah, with your user group starting up in South Central, or basically North Jersey Shore area, and everything that we've been showing, SolidWorks is an amazing tool. I'm super impressed with what you've been able to do with it, and I really hope you are really successful with this Kickstarter and everything that your company is kind of supporting you to be able to do. So, any final words, Chris, about what this project was like, or recommendations or tips for everyone else?
No, my only other tip was last week you had said reach out to customer service if I had any issues, and I was having an issue with these decals where they weren't rendering in PhotoView 360 for whatever reason. So I reached out to customer service, and they helped me restart or clear my registry, and it fixed the problem. So nice. Thanks for that help. And so I would recommend, if you have any issues, reach out to customer service.
Thanks, Chris. We really appreciate it. So, all right, that's going to conclude this video. We really appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.